what's going on. You got Facebook right here. I got my mic connected, so please let me know if you can hear me or not before we dive too deep into this, because I definitely want to make sure that you guys get this value. What's going on? LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. We got over here. Welcome back to another episode. Hit the ring light. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Super excited to deliver this one. This is going to be short, sweet, to the point. But I think it's going to give you that boost, that kick that you need. Everybody always talks about needing motivation, needing to be inspired, needing that boost of energy, that kick in the tail. And I think this is going to be that, but not necessarily in the way that you intend. And hopefully, if you've been constantly sitting back, waiting for kicks in the tail in order to get started, hopefully after this conversation, then that won't be a thing. So once again, guys, please let me know once you tune in on Facebook. Please let me know if you can hear me. We got the mic connected, so I might just be look like I'm doing sign language and miming right now. If you can't hear me, so if you can hear me, please let me know. Somebody, let me know down in the comments. Just give me a thumbs up. I can hear you. What's up, Marcus? Can you hear me? Thumbs up, and I can hear you. Let's go. Let's get it. We're good. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to bring up. And also let me know how you're doing as well. Let me know how the weekend was. Let me know if you smashed the workout already today. You know, I like to see that for sure. I like to see that we're executing. I like to see that we are, let's see, you can hear me over on YouTube. Perfect. Facebook. Okay, Marcus, you can hear me. Perfect. Perfect. Let's dive in. All right, squad, we're getting started in 3, 2, 1. All right, so welcome back to the podcast. It's a Monday morning, and we're hitting with some motivation, mindset Monday. I guess I call it more mindset Monday than motivation Monday. And we're talking about why your feelings are keeping you fat. Why your feelings are keeping you fat. Now, this may seem kind of harsh, but sometimes we need tough love, especially for my guys who is, you guys are the main audience on every platform that I have. So I try to direct my language, the value that I provide. I try to direct every conversation to the majority. I think pretty much everywhere on every platform I'm on, the majority of people I'm connected with, I think it's 85% plus guys on literally every single platform, podcast, YouTube, Instagram, like the whole nine. So y'all should be all right with a little tough love. Your feelings are keeping you fat. And here's what I mean by that. So when I talk to guys, I talk to at least 3 to 5 guys over the phone every single day of the week, every single day of the week, and maybe close to 50 a day through DM, direct message. They might shoot me a message. I might shoot them a message. Like, we have conversations on a very consistent basis. And there's pretty much 3 things that pretty much all guys want to accomplish in their health and fitness. First off, you want to get rid of the man boobs and the stubborn belly fat. I think this one is obvious. Like, you want your clothes to fit better. You want more confidence. You want to feel better from a physique, aesthetic standpoint. That one is obvious. And I think anybody can understand why a guy would want to accomplish that and why he would kind of not feel like his best self if he had the quote unquote man boobs and the belly fat. And that was an issue that was really a sticking point for him. Secondly, is that guys want to get energy back to play with their kids and to do more with their spouse and not give all their energy to work. This is another big one I hear, and this is actually not saying that I'm not passionate about getting rid of the man boobs and the belly fat. I am from a confidence standpoint, but I'm more passionate about guys that truly want to get their energy back so that they don't come in from work at the end of the day and they have to sit back on a recliner like they're completely zapped at the end of every single night, and they can't play with their kids. They can't give their spouse any time, any attention, because they don't have the energy left after going through a full workday. That's something that a lot of guys want to fix. And then lastly, is that a lot of guys just want to live a higher quality of life, and they want to do high performing habits. And you guys will understand this if you are a you're an entrepreneur, you're, maybe in an exec role, you're upper level management, something like this, you know the power of doing high performing things, reading books, meditating, having a morning routine, being disciplined with your time. Like all of these things play a factor in getting you to a higher level that most people never sniff, most people never get to. So you understand, high quality habits in your training, in your nutrition, what you put in your body, all these things. These are typically the three biggest things that guys want to accomplish. But those are big things. Those are life-changing things. If you can fix any of those things, those change the trajectory of your life, they change the quality of your life, they change how happy you are, they change everything. But then I started asking, okay, so what, this is a big goal. Like you have 3 kids, you feel like you're running out of energy for them. You feel like you can't show up the way that you need to. What's been your biggest roadblock? Like, why are you struggling to get this done right now? And it's all feelings. It's all emotions. It's all excuses. It's nothing physical. It's nothing tangible. It's nothing, oh, I work 18 hours a day and I literally have to almost sleep at the office. I barely have time to come back home before I have to go back out. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like, oh, well, I had this accident and I can only do this or that. Like I've had those situations before, but by and large, every guy that I talk to is physically able-bodied. He has the resources to go and work out. You don't need any resources to go work out, but he has the resources to work out, has the resources to eat healthier foods, has the resources to do all these things. But every time I ask why you haven't been able to accomplish it, it's feelings, it's emotions, and it's excuses. And here are the 3 biggest feelings, emotions, and excuses that I get from guys when I ask them, why have we not been able to accomplish the goal that you're setting out to accomplish? One is, man, I just can't get motivated. Man, I just can't stay consistent. I can't get motivated and I can't stay consistent. That's one of the biggest excuses. And if you're listening to this right now and that's been one of your things, I want you to let me know down in the comments below. If you're like, yeah, that's me. That's me. If you're watching, if you're listening live, if you're watching on the podcast, then you can kind of just, nod to yourself, raise your hand right there where you're at. But this is one of the biggest things I hear. Man, I just can't get motivated. I just can't stay consistent. And my thing with getting motivated and staying consistent is that your consistency is completely reliant on your motivation. Your consistency is completely reliant on your motivation. And we're going to come back to this, but that is a dangerous, dangerous, slippery slope to be on when you're talking about trying to make transformational change in your body and your health. The last thing you want to do is be motivated. The last thing you want to do is focus on inspiration. Because if you do, you're never going to build the consistency that's required to get where you want to be. And like I said, we're going to come back to that in a minute. Number 2 is, man, I just feel like, it's not going to work. I tried it before and it didn't work. You tried what exactly? What exactly did you try? So you do know there are a lot of different methodologies. You do know that your body may not have been responsive to whatever methodology you tried. You know that you might have been doing things completely wrong. You know that what helps your wife lose 30 pounds is probably not going to be what helps you lose 30 pounds. Like, that there are so many different, not to say that it's difficult, but there are a lot of prerequisites when it comes to what you need to fuel your body with, how you need to move your body, what type of habits you should be participating in, what type of supplementation or what type of nutrients you should be making sure you're getting based on your current, hormonal status, based on your current gut health, based on your current energy levels, based on your current schedule. Like, so what exactly did you try is always the question that I pose, because like, oh, well, I went to the gym with my wife for a few weeks and I didn't really see that much progress, so I stopped going. Or, well, I was on this diet, or, well, I did this low carb thing, or I did the juice. Like, it's always like, oh, what did you do? Oh, well, I did this one thing and then you just quit. You just gave up on it because you didn't immediately turn into The Rock, because you didn't immediately turn into Terry Crews, because you didn't immediately turn into whoever. Whatever your image of yourself that you feel like you're only willing to work hard if you can get to that place, whatever that image is for you, you weren't able to become that person in 3 months, even though those people, even though those guys took years and years and years, day in and day out, in order to achieve the physique and achieve the health that they have, but you quit after 2 or 3 weeks. And then lastly, is that I feel like it's just going to be too hard. I don't want to restrict myself. I don't have time to go work out. All of these excuses. I don't have time to eat healthy, which I think we talked about this on the last podcast. I can have a little tad, teeny, tiny bit of empathy for the I don't have time to work out part. Because we have a 4-month-old, and she definitely does throw the schedule out of whack. And you do have to get things in at different times. And there has been a couple of times that I missed a workout. So I can kind of understand that excuse, but I cannot understand the excuse of I'm too busy to eat healthy, because you're still eating. You're still eating. Whether or not you're eating healthy or not, you're still eating. So in that effort of going through the drive-through to pick something up, or going here, going there, whatever the case may be, like, you still have an opportunity to make a better nutritional decision, because you still got to eat. You're not so busy that you're not eating. If you were, you wouldn't be in a position that you're in now. You wouldn't be trying to lose 50 pounds heading into the new year if you weren't eating. The issue is that we're eating too much. So it's not that you're too busy to eat healthy. It's that you're too busy to be bothered with what you're putting in your body. You're too busy to be bothered with what you're putting in your body, and you're too busy to get up and intentionally move your body, to use your body the way that it was intended. You're too busy for those things, or those things are too difficult, or they're too hard, because you're not willing to do a quick Google search on, what are the best foods to eat for a man over 30 looking to lose 50 pounds? What is the best workout to do in 30 minutes a day? Literally could Google all this. You could come to my page. You could join our free Facebook group, whatever the case may be. You could do a number of things and try it out and stick with it, and you will probably get some sort of tangible positive benefit from it. But it was too hard to do all that. These are the 3 biggest excuses I get. And Gregory over on LinkedIn says, should age be a reason that people lose motivation? Is that just an excuse? My mindset is that we don't really lose motivation. I don't think that motivation is necessarily a real thing, if that makes sense. I think that when you have a true game plan, when you have direction, when you have support, and when you trust whatever process it doesn't matter. You want to be vegan, you want to be carnivore, you want to do all cardio, you want to do all weight training. It doesn't matter what methodology you choose, but it's more so, do you trust that process? And do you have support? And do you have a clear guideline and step-by-step phase? I know for me, I am not motivated to do anything that I cannot map out, if that makes sense. And that's why with our clients, we always make sure to map out for them, like, hey, this is what we can expect within the next couple of weeks. This is what we can expect within 3 months. And if things go according to this plan, here's what's going to happen. If things don't go according to this plan, here's the type of changes that we'll make, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. A lot of times you just need strategy and direction, and that's why we might lack motivation. So for example, if you're getting in a car and you got to go cross country and you have no idea, you have no GPS, you have no maps, and you just kind of have to figure it out on your own, you're going to be stressed out. You're going to want to quit. You're going to turn around and go home. But if you're on a journey, if you're driving and you got the GPS pulled up and it says it's going to take you 33 hours and 41 minutes, you're like, oh man, it's going to be a long drive, but we'll stop here in Ohio, and then we'll stop in Kansas City, and then we'll stop in Utah, and then we'll stop in California, and then we'll turn back around. Like, that's going to be your mindset. So you will have, because you know where you're going, you'll have mapped it out. And even though it's a long journey, even though it's going to be hard, even though it's going to be tiring, you're able to push through and complete it because you knew where you were going. And I think that that's where motivation comes from, knowing where you're going. I think the motivational videos, I watch some sometimes. I get some motivation every once in a while. But ultimately, I think it's just fake dopamine. It's you get high on it for a couple of minutes and you come down. You get high for a couple of minutes and you come down. And every time you listen to these motivational videos, or you get some motivation from a post, maybe a post I made, maybe a live stream or podcast like this, you listen to it, you get high on the motivation for a minute, and by the time the live stream is over, by the time the podcast is over, you've already come down. And every time you get high, the high gets it wears off more and more. It takes more and more motivation for you to get Take more and more inspiration from your guy. And that's why it's so detrimental to always focus on the outside motivation, outside inspiration, because it's never going to hit the second time. And it's going to take more and more and more until it gets to a point where you're just completely tuning out all motivation. And that's why our feelings have to stop playing such a big part in our journey. What you guys have to realize is that there's a guy out there, he has just as many kids as you. He has just as busy and wanting to fill the calendar up wife as you. He has a company he runs. He has a job. He has things he does in his community. He has a tremendous amount of things on his plate, and he still makes the time to prioritize his health. He still makes the time to put good, high quality foods in his body. He still makes the time to put himself at the forefront of his day, whether that be in the morning or at another time in the day. He carves out that time for himself. And the only difference between him and you is that he doesn't let his feelings dictate what he does. He's not inspired every day. He doesn't feel like it every day, but he gets up anyway and gets the job done. He gets up anyway and gets the job done. See, when your alarm goes off at 5:45 in the morning and you're supposed to be up